Hello and welcome to X Witness Week. I'm your host, Jonathan. I hope that you are having an amazing day. If you caught the total solar eclipse today, congratulations to you. I was this close. Where I live is 99.45% of totalitarian, the whole thing. And yeah, it was all right. Anyway, this is me from the future. I have an interview that I did with a fellow Exjw who has made available for everyone a website that I think you're going to find interesting and very useful. So please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and we'll get to it. So without further ado, let's run the introduction, and then we'll get to it.
Good afternoon, Jonathan. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. And yourself?
Very well. Thank you. Thank you. So let me introduce myself. I go by JM on YouTube, and I don't have my own channel, but I do try to support other content creators where I can. I feel that everyone is helping in their own unique way and reaching a unique audience of listeners who are, they're reaching out for answers and a sense of community.
Excellent. That's really good to hear. Um, you know, Creators can definitely always use support from other creators,
For sure.
and any information that we can provide for one another is going to help the cause.
Hmm.
So now that you've reached out, tell us a little bit about yourself, and so we can know about who you are.
Certainly. So I'll skip the boring parts and I'll try to just go to a few straight highlights. For a little background, I'm second generation. I was in for 40 years and I've been out for almost 15. Very typical story. Dropped out at high school at 15, baptized at 16, and I got my GED at 18, married by 20 to a third generation. There were familial ties by marriage to certain prominent members at Bethel. Regrettably, I was also privy to stories of abuse and cover up, and even threatened with disfellowshipping on the grounds of so called slander if I spoke, even a word. Um, Embarrassing, but I've been disfellowshipped 3 times, privately reproved 3 more. I will say, on my own defense, one of those disfellowshippings was on the appearance of wrongdoing, if you can believe that. I was also in a bad accident as a teenager. I almost bled to death. The hospital refused to treat me. They sent me to a nearby hospital by ambulance just to avoid being sued, of course, by the witnesses.
Hmm.
And like so many others, I felt crippled with depression, anxiety, and all those physical symptoms that come with years and years of unresolved stress. But I must say, I'm also very blessed. I've had many lovely people in my life, amazing individuals that were really doing their very best with the tools they've been given.
Wow, that's quite a bit there in a concise manner. That's good. Thank you for sharing that. So you said you left 15 years ago?
Yes, it was a slow process, but it started. I was in another serious accident. I had another near brush with lights out. This time was different. Something changed, and suddenly everything I knew as a Jehovah's Witness, it was just flipped upside down on its head, and I likened it to having my entire faith system a collapsed wall of rubble, and I didn't even know where to begin to pick up the pieces. But I didn't want to either. I felt ready to finally ask tough questions and demand tough answers.
So is this where you would say you were deprogramming yourself?
Yes, and it didn't start with the scandals, and I didn't follow the money. I began reading Revelations from a variety of Bible translations and quickly concluded that there were just too many holes in the witness doctrine, beginning with the most fundamental, the two-class system. And if that one dissolves, then everything else falls apart. And surprisingly, it still continues to dissolve as I further educate myself. But
Mhm.
At the time, my life was in shambles, and I felt that being a servant of God should not be so depressing and so soul crushing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was at that point I started to fade. I knew the cost, and I honestly believed I'd be snuffed out forever at Armageddon. But you go into the great unknown and forge your way. I had no idea there was even an entire network of support for ex-members. I'm glad I found that out with time. And I had yet to learn the extent of pure rot and corruption in this organization.
There's definitely a lot of that for sure.
Yeah.
So you discovered the XJW community,
Mhm.
and how did things go with that?
Yeah, I joined in the discussion. I reached out to other ex-members. About 5 or so years ago, I was involved with a small a small Facebook group that launched a letter campaign here in Canada. We did have participation, but it just never grew legs. It didn't take off. I personally wrote to my MP and to various officials with oversight in child protection and welfare, education, and so on. The response was disappointing. It was always the same. It was to kick the can down the road to the next department. Yeah, I was disheartened and I stepped away from the project. But my main reason for stepping away was because I realized I wasn't ready. I was too emotionally entrenched in the process, and it wasn't healthy anymore, and I didn't feel like I was being of much help.
Yeah, you have to take care of your own
Absolutely, yes.
emotional states. What did you decide to do from there?
Well, I thought it was time to get serious about healing and self-development. Didn't want to be angry anymore. I didn't want to be self-destructive. So I wanted to understand all these inner and outer dynamics that had shaped and formed this utterly bizarre set of life circumstances and experiences that we have, as ex-members, we have found ourselves in, that we grew up in. And my purpose wasn't to assign blame. If anything, it was, I wanted to let go of blame. So yeah, I earned a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. I got to
Very good.
study the roots and effects of religious fundamentalism, political and ideological zealotry. I got to learn about the correlating functional and structural changes in the brain and body. And what are the long-term effects of shunning? What are the effects of a steady diet of fear-mongering? And the sociological and psychological processes that are driving these alarming rates of psychiatric disorders, of suicides, addiction, and abuse in this religion.
Well, that's pretty admirable to get a degree like that and to really take things
It
apart
was,
like that.
it was a
It
lot of hard work, but very
sure would be.
rewarding. Mhm.
So you found a lot of answers in this pursuit.
Yes, in buckets. I scratched the surface. And over time, my curiosity evolved. I developed a deep interest in behavioral neuroscience and cognitive psychology. Um, and that was where I studied, believe it or not, the effects of meditation and yoga on the physiological and psychological health of the individual. And these were practices that I just so happened to had recently taken up and I was experiencing the benefits of. Um, at the same time, I was studying comparative religion, which piqued my interest and curiosity toward Eastern philosophies and investigating, for instance, the crossover themes between other love-based religions and roots Christianity. The entire experience helped enormously with the healing process, and it helped to deconstruct old dogma. I found indescribable inner peace and freedom to let go of old resentment. My biggest hope is that I haven't hurt too many along the way, and where I have, I hope that these ones have also found peace.
Mhm.
There's also incredible gratitude. I'm now in a loving, supportive marriage. We value each other's authenticity, and I quit drinking in the process, and that was my big monster, you know. And it's been proudly almost 5 years. So I have so much to be grateful for. I feel that I was given my life back. So
Well,
yeah,
I'm glad to hear that. That's a hard one to deal with.
it is. It is.
I have some family that have dealt with alcoholism, and
Yeah,
it's a challenge for sure.
and it's pervasive,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
So it's been 5 years. What's happened in that time?
Okay. Um, well, I'm here now talking to you, and I'm hoping to offer something of practical value. The impetus behind this idea came while watching a video by Ryan, actually. At the end, she stated how important it is to raise awareness by reaching out to our representatives. It was a good reminder. I had just recently moved to a new town, and well, new town, new MP, new letter, of course. So yeah, I began the exhaustive hours of research and writing again. But I remembered back when I first left the organization, I have to say I was politically illiterate, and the task would have seemed so daunting. Where do we even start? So I thought, if this process was simplified, if it was more accessible, perhaps others would want to pick up the baton and get involved.
Keep I keep hearing. I realize my Discord is on. I keep hearing boom on the screen. So I'm gonna pause for 1 second here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so what is the address to the website?
Okay, it's letters for the numerical for change, and that's .info.
Letters for Change. Okay, there we go. All right. Maybe we'll do this. I think that works pretty good.
Lovely. Okay. All right.
Okay. All right. So we have the website up here. You want to take us through what we've got here?
Certainly. Okay, it's very streamlined. It has two basic functions. It's got a fast link to locate your representative and their contact info in either Canada or USA. And then there's also a professionally written advocacy letter. It's formally written for either country. It's in English and French for Canada, or English and Spanish for United States. All the in-text citations and the reference list is there for you as well. And you only need to personalize it where indicated. So if we go through this, you'll see up at the very top.
Okay.
Yep. So we'll go to Canada at the top, over to English.
Okay.
Go to locate my representatives.
Okay.
Search members of parliament. And a new window will open up, and you'll see a bar where you can type in your postal code, your constituency, street address. So let's go with the Halifax postal code. We'll go with B as in baby, 3H0A5.
0
A5.
A5.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now you'll see a tab there. I think I screwed up a little bit because I can't see what you're seeing. It should have given you.
I don't know why it's not refreshing it. That's weird. Yeah, I wasn't looking at the actual screen.
Oh, sorry.
Share this tab. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that.
Okay. So this is the member of parliament for a district in Halifax. And if you click on his, if you click on the link for him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. Then just the contact tab. And that gives you everything you need. Email, physical address. So you're all set. You've got your contact information right there.
Excellent.
Okay, so then you can go back to letters for change.
Okay. Share this tab instead. Okay, there we go.
Open up the tab that says Advocacy Letter. And we're still under Canada and English here.
Mm-hmm.
And when you click on that, there's everything.
Oh, wow. You got a template for
Okay.
everything.
So you can copy and paste that. Email is super fast and easy.
Yeah.
Print it and mail it, of course. The latter is recommended because a physical address does tend to stand out more compared to email, but certainly not necessary. I sent my letter by email and I received a personal response with an action plan in less than a week. It's also recommended that you incorporate your own words and unique voice. It attracts more attention and it adds more impact. I added to my letter that by this very act of my writing, I was risking being ostracized by my own parents and every Jehovah's Witness that I'll ever again encounter. You can also CC other entities too, by all means do so. But I want to keep coming back that at the very core of this website is that it's simple. I think the simpler the process, the higher volume of letters that we can get into the hands of those with real influence.
Mm-hmm. I love this because it's just got everything you need.
And it's kept to the body of it is at about one page, which is what's recommended for either a physical letter or an email. Yeah. So now, if for Canada, Vern Huell with Fixing My Faith has started a petition, and you can, if you scroll back up, you can see it next to Advocacy.
Signed petition.
Okay. Signed petition.
All right, let's check it out.
And that link will take you to a petition that so far has over 1,200 signatures.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And that's about it. The United States side of the website, there's one more step. It doesn't have all the contact information, and it's not internal. You'll click the link, but it'll take you to that individual's external website, and from there you can click on the contact tab. So
okay.
Just one more step. Vern and Shauna from Fixing My Faith, they've already launched this. Their focus has been especially on Canada. They want to garner more signatures for the petition, which is...
Should I click on this link?
Sure, if you want to.
Okay, let's check it out.
And it'll open in a new tab.
New tab, there we go.
Okay.
Oh, so this guy.
I know. It's...
Well, it definitely gets your attention.
So
they're not too far from their goal. That's good.
Yeah. No, it's picking up exponentially. So,
I'll be sure to add my 2 cents to this then.
Oh, thank you so much.
Later, so
perfect. Okay, let's see. What else do we want to cover?
Remove all public funding to religious institutions that shun children and hide pedophiles.
Yeah. So
and others.
It's not just exclusive to Jehovah's Witnesses. I mean, this is across the board. So
that's good, because the Apostate Coalition was meant to be for people from different cults, not exclusively Jehovah's Witnesses. So that really fits the bill there.
That is wonderful. I didn't even know that, and I'm so glad to know. And we've had really good response so far. Several people have participated. We're already in correspondence with the Vice Chair for the Standing Committee for Justice and Human Rights in Canada. That's huge. Yeah. And, imagine if more letters across Canada were forwarded to this individual and to his committee. With all the new developments around the world, I think that the timing is prime, and we've created a critical mass. I say we, I shouldn't include myself, but I mean, in the bigger picture, the ex-witnesses have done a phenomenal job to really push this thing and give it momentum.
I would say it's safe to say we, because this feels like it could be a critical part of the equation. So you're not incorrect in saying that you're part of this. this looked like it was quite a bit of work to put together. So you have made this much easier for people to participate in.
I hope so. Well, that was the plan. So yeah.
Now, speaking of plans, so what's your future plans? You gonna do some different type of activism or something entirely different?
I'll see how this pans out. I'm hoping it picks up steam. And, who knows what other doors will open. I certainly hope so. I'd like to partner up with other initiatives, maybe some startups or others that are more established, better qualified, resourced, et cetera, networked. I can offer a supportive role or we can help amplify each other's efforts, but maybe even expand to more countries and languages, or reach out to the ex-Mormon community and partner up with them, create power in numbers.
Yeah, that really fits. That was kind of the idea, is that we have these different groups, and
Yes.
collectively we could do a lot more,
Oh
even if
yeah,
it's different
absolutely.
religions.
Pick the hornet's nest, right?
Mhm.
I'll admit I'm a little bit at a crossroads though, as to where I want to best spend my efforts, because I want it to count. My plan was to take a year off of school and then return to get my qualifications as an addiction counselor. To talk about that a little bit, I I believe that alcoholism and other addictions among current and former Jehovah's Witnesses, it's also an indication of a deep spiritual injury and trauma, as well as having genetic and environmental components. And I want to clarify what I mean by the term spiritual. This religion can strip away an individual's very core being. You are taught that without the breath of life, you are a dead soul, a corpse whose self-awareness is terminated at death. And then to separate you further from your true self, you're told that your heart is not to be trusted because it's treacherous.
Yeah.
Love is just a feeling, and it is only through following rules and through action and duty that we demonstrate love, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always found it so dry and mechanical. That transformative, ecstatic, and transcendent experience that we humans, we crave our entire lives. Well, that's just limited to a chosen few. And so if something were to stir deep inside of us and we realize that we've got everything that we need within us to be whole and well, and that we don't need to follow men, the system is set up so that we don't trust that feeling. And it reduces the individual to, I guess you could call it almost a facsimile of their true self. And Watchtower happens to do this exquisitely. And I find it quite insidious, because if we don't know our true worth, how can we demand for ourselves and of ourselves to be treated and to treat others with love and honor and compassion? I'm realizing more and more people are struggling in a personal hell, both in the ex community and in the current community. And I think it's wonderful that we have Joe and Fran, and June, a brave woman. They're coming forward and they're creating a platform for others to share their struggles. And yeah, it's lovely. It's heartwarming.
Yeah, I'm really proud of the accomplishments of a lot of creators, XJW creators, tongue tied here, and their contributions to the cause, and basically being support for everyone.
Yes, yes.
Is there anything else that you wanted to add? I know we wanted to keep this to a reasonable size, so I think we're doing pretty good so far.
I think so, and I think we've covered everything. Coming from the things that I learned, there is so much more to us than we realize, than we've been taught, and so says science. And we can take that back. We can be the master of our own mind and the captain of our own ship. In psychology, it's referred to as internal locus of control. And what we've talked about today, this is a small way with potential for enormous impact, that we can participate in something bigger, something that might benefit those still entrapped, the children, the parents, the spouses that we all once were. I want to mention to your audience members too, and to other content creators that I've reached out to who also may eventually hear this, I want to acknowledge that there are still many things that we find so triggering, and a couple of those are, well, organize, letter campaign, are certainly among them. And I don't want anyone to feel put on the spot. So please just consider this an open invitation. One more thing, I'm not promoting anything and I'm not looking for clicks. I'm trying to literally give this away. It's a tool for everyone to use to simplify an otherwise time-consuming and arduous process. I'm hoping that maybe some content creators will consider providing a link in their description and maybe even refer to it from time to time for the sake of their new subscribers. Maybe even a live stream for a counter witness letter campaign that might provide pure comedic gold, but one of your ideas. So yeah, I think that covers everything.
Well, I'll be happy to put a link to everything in my show notes. It's pretty easy. I just have notes in my phone that I copy and paste and just make minor changes from video to video.
Yes.
And that's easy enough to do. So I'm happy to do that.
Oh, thank you.
And yeah, I'll encourage others in the Discord to maybe do a similar thing, to add that to theirs.
Thank you, Jonathan. And I want to thank you too for giving me this time, for all your interest, your indulgence. And I want to acknowledge too that you've been with me throughout this entire process. I think I started this back in October, November. Whether you realize it or not, you've been encouraging me at every step of the way, and I appreciate it immensely. And I want to thank your audience too for their interest as well. I hope you'll all check out the website and consider participating. Think about Norway. It began with the smallest of steps. So,
yep.
This too could turn into something amazing, maybe even, who knows, revolutionary.
If we could see this in North America, that would be great.
Wouldn't it though? Yes.
So thank you so much, GM, for coming on. This is something that I had hoped we'd done a while ago, but lives are busy. So
yes, certainly.
Thank you so much for all your work that you put into that. And let's see where this can go.
Okay, will do. Thank you, Jonathan.
You're very welcome. So thank you for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed what JM and I were showing you. Let's see what we can do to get this movement rolling. We could see a lot of momentum if we just put our minds to it. So please like, share, and subscribe, and click on the link found in the show notes below, and add your name to the change.org and talk to your local representatives and see what we can do to make some lasting change. And with that, I will catch you next time. Hello and welcome to X Witness Awake. I'm your host, Jonathan. Hope that you're doing well today. Hello, welcome to X Witness Awake. I'm your host, Jonathan. I hope that you are having an awesome day. Hello and welcome to X Witness Awake. I'm your host. I can't even say my name right. Hello and welcome to X Witness Awake. I'm your host, Jonathan. I hope that you are having an amazing day. Did you catch the eclipse? No, what am I saying? Why does this sound so stupid? Hello there. Hello, I'm Indigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. All right, let's try this again. Hello and welcome to X Witness Awake. Hello and welcome to X Witness Awake. I'm your host, Jonathan. I hope that you are having an amazing day. This video that I'm about to bring to you was an interview that I did just a couple of days ago, so this is me from the future. But I neglected to do any sort of an introduction, so here we are. This is an Exjw who has made her services available to all who would like to use it in regarding a writing campaign. So if you would please like, share, and subscribe and give it the love that it deserves. Here we go. Now, why am I so bad at this? Why am I so bad at these introductions? Hello and welcome to X Witness Awake. I am your host, Jonathan. Hope that you are having an amazing day. Hello and welcome to X Witness Awake. I'm your host, Jonathan. I hope that you are having an amazing day. The video that I'm about to bring to you is an interview that I did with an Exjw who goes by the name of JM. They have made... Hello and welcome to How long has this been? 3 minutes of garbage. Don't know why this is so hard for me. Hello and welcome to X Witness Awake. I'm your host, Jonathan. I hope that you are having an amazing day. Did you catch the... Why am I... Welcome to X Witness Awake. I'm your host, Jonathan. I hope that you are having an amazing day. Today I have for you an interview that I did with an Exjw activist who goes by the name of JM on the interwebs, and they wanted to share with everyone, my audience, and anyone that's interested in a website that they've made available for everyone to use to make contacting your representatives much easier. So please have a look and show that... No. Please... Hello and welcome to X Witness Awake. I'm your host, Jonathan. I hope that you are having an amazing day. Did you catch the eclipse? It was fun. I was this close to being in the the whole zone. The zone of totalitarity. Why am I so bad at this? Oh, totalitarian. God. Oh, I need to give this up. Why? Okay.
We did 20 ticks, and that was the best one.
I think that works.